Well, I gotta say, I was a little bit wrong and a little bit right in this fight with Kell Brook and Errol Spence. Like Errol Spence said, I thought he was a little bit off tonight. I thought, particularly up close, I thought he'd be a little bit more elusive. I thought he'd be able to kind of turn Kell Brook on the inside. I thought he'd be a little bit more flexible and mobile with his upper body. He did get low, but I thought he would lean off to the side and be able to, open up his punches a little bit better. I thought he smothered some of his punches. I didn't think that, he did everything that he wanted to do and everything that I thought he would be able to do in this fight. But, there was a lot of good things that he did do in this fight, particularly with the right jab, good counters with the straight left, and even when he did get up close, he did smother some of his work, but he was able to still push Kell Brook back. He was able to go to the body effectively with the free hand when Kell Brook would grab one arm. But I just would have liked to see him um, be a little bit more forceful, a little bit more rugged up close, and you know, get down and really create some punching angles better for himself. I didn't think he did that. I've seen him do it, several times in the past, where he'd get in there and dip off to either side to create those punching angles and those punching openings for himself. And he could turn him a little bit and kind of create that little space for the short uppercut on the inside as well. But all in all, I thought that he showed a championship heart, showed that he belongs, in the top of this division. He bit down, gritted his teeth, and he just took it into second gear when he felt he needed to. And that was the difference in this fight. He had a lot more left in the tank in the second half of this fight than Kell Brook did. And, he was, making those deposits in the basement with those body shots. And, the jab was definitely busting up Kell Brook's eye. We saw that eye. And this could be another one of those situations where that orbital bone is probably damaged in the other eye, the opposite eye that Gennady Golovkin damaged in the fight with Golovkin, Triple G. So all in all, this was a great fight. I thought this was very entertaining. I thought it was very competitive. But I love how Errol Spence, flipped the switch and kicked it up, when he had to. He took it into second gear, as I said, when he had to. He was hit with some good shots himself. He seemed to take them very well. He didn't have a mark on him at the end of this fight. So now the drums will be beating for Keith Thurman. That's the fight that I think he deserves. That's the fight that I think the fans deserve, and we'll see what happens. As for Kell Brook, I hope he moves up to 154. And I can still see that match with Amir Khan happening now because Amir Khan probably saw what he wanted to see. He saw some vulnerabilities, and there has been a lot taken out of Kell Brook in these last two fights, Errol Spence and Golovkin. So he may feel the time is right for a matchup now, but the sky's the limit for Errol Spence. Again, I thought that the toughness and just him being able to impose his will. He was walking down Kell Brook in the second half of this fight, and he just took charge when he had to take charge. And credit to Kell Brook as well. He was trying to hang in there, but the eye was damaged. And I totally don't fault him for not continuing in this fight. But this was a great fight. And again, I told you, Errol Spence is the truth, man. This was an off night, and this was his first title fight, and this was a fight overseas with all the pressure in the world on him, hanging over his head. And I'm sure in a lot of people's scorecards in the first 6 rounds, he was behind in this fight, and he just took control. This was a young kid, 21 fights going in, and he took control. He took control. He grew up light years in this one fight, and just like Anthony Joshua did in his fight with Klitschko, this was a fight that even though he was a little bit off, he still had an emphatic ending, and he beat, I think, the best guy in the division, taking nothing away from Keith Thurman. I just think Kell Brook is the toughest guy in this division outside of Errol Spence, and I think that the rest of these guys will be easy pickings for Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence will take out anyone else in this division. I think he beats Keith Thurman. I think he beats Danny Garcia. I think he beats anyone in the welterweight division now. Even Sean Porter, I think that would be a tough fight for him, but I still think Errol Spence beats Sean Porter as well. I just think that this kid, with the size, the speed, just the overall game, offensive game, and he looked really good defensively in spots in this fight, catching a lot of shots with his gloves. Although I didn't like that, as I said, he didn't move very well with the upper body. He didn't dip and duck and slip and slide. Bend at the waist and with the head and shoulders like he normally does. That seemed to be absent in this fight. But even still, he was still catching a lot of shots and blocking them, and really timing Kell Brook very well with the straight left counters. That was Kell Brook was trying to come in, and yeah, I just think this was a great fight. I think Errol Spence is the man right now in this division, man. He's the man in this division. All right, guys, we're going to talk about this fight more tomorrow on the Ringside Reporter podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Me, Eric, and Ringside Robert. Please join us tomorrow. Call into the show. Love to hear your thoughts on this fight. This was just a great weekend of boxing for us. Another great fight over in the UK, baby. UK, baby. UK, we're flying, baby. All right, Beeb is out. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.